Wake up in the morning.
Wake up, Atlanta. It's time for coffee. Talk presented by Spotify. Fresh vibes, real talk.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our hit radio show, Coffee Talk, presented by Spotify. Kennedy is taking a day off to be in the studios today to give you new content, so he asked us to hold down the show. We have a packed show, you guys, Guy. Okay, Hope. So, here's something to chew on. Paramount just raised its bid for Warner Bros. Discovery to $31 per share, and that's a $1 billion jump from Netflix's offer. This isn't just a bidding war. It's a battle for the future of Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely. And what makes this so fascinating is that it's not just about the money. Paramount's offer includes a higher regulatory termination fee and an accelerated ticking fee timeline, which shows they're really trying to outmaneuver Netflix. But what's the bigger play here?
Well, the bigger play is control. Think about what's at stake. HBO Max, CNN, Discovery, and franchises like Harry Potter. Paramount wants to acquire Warner in its entirety, including its networks. While Netflix is more focused on the studio and streaming business, it's like two completely different visions for what Warner Brothers could become.
That's a great point. Paramount's bid feels more traditional, like they're trying to consolidate power in the old school Hollywood sense. Studios, networks, theatrical channels. Netflix, on the other hand, is all about streaming dominance. But doesn't that raise some serious antitrust concerns?
Oh, for sure. Lawmakers and trade groups are already sounding the alarm about further consolidation in an industry that's already dominated by a handful of players. The U.S. Department of Justice is reviewing both proposals, and other countries are expected to follow suit. It's not just about who offers the most money, it's about who can get the regulatory green light.
And that's where things get really tricky. Paramount is arguing that Netflix's much larger market value would make them too dominant if they acquire Warner. But Netflix is countering by saying they're up against broader video libraries like YouTube, and that they'd actually preserve and grow Warner's operations. It's a classic case of dueling narratives.
Exactly. And then there's the political angle, which adds another layer of complexity. Former President Trump has ties to Larry Ellison, who's backing Paramount's bid, and he's been vocal about his opinions on both Paramount and Netflix. It's messy, but it's also incredibly compelling.
Messy is right. And let's not forget the recent history with Skydance's buyout of Paramount and the editorial shifts at CBS under new ownership. If Paramount acquires Warner, similar changes could happen at CNN, which would be a huge deal given its influence on public discourse. That's
a really important point. And then there's Netflix's board, which includes figures like Susan Rice, a former UN ambassador. Trump's recent social media posts demanding her removal add another layer of intrigue. It's like every aspect of this story is interconnected, from the boardrooms to the political arena.
It really is. And this isn't just a business story. It's a cultural and political one as well. The outcome of this bidding war could have far-reaching implications, not just for Hollywood, but for consumers, creators, and the broader media landscape.
And speaking of consumers, there's a lot of concern about what this could mean for us. Critics are warning that a buyout of Warner, whether by Netflix or Paramount, could lead to job losses, less diversity in filmmaking, and higher streaming costs. The industry is already dominated by a few major players, and further consolidation could make things even worse.
That's a valid concern. Consolidation often leads to fewer choices and higher prices for consumers. And then there's the creative side of things. When fewer companies control the industry, there's less room for diverse voices and innovative storytelling. It's a real risk, and it's something regulators will have to consider as they review these proposals.
So, where does this leave us? Paramount has made its move, and now it's up to Warner's board to decide if it's a better deal than Netflix's. If they do, Netflix will have to respond, and the ball will be back in their court. Meanwhile, the regulatory reviews will continue, and the political drama will likely escalate.
That's a great way to put it. This is a story with so many layers: financial, regulatory, political, cultural. It's a reminder of just how interconnected everything is and how the decisions made in boardrooms can ripple out to affect all of us.
Absolutely. And as this story unfolds, we'll be here to break it down and make sense of it all. For now, though, we'll have to wait and see what Warner's board decides and how Netflix responds. It's a cliffhanger, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Same here. Until then, we'll keep an eye on the developments and keep asking the big questions. What does this mean for Hollywood? For consumers? For the future of storytelling? These are the questions that matter, and they're the ones we'll keep exploring.
Definitely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone. See you next time.
Wake up, y'all! It is now time for the front page news of the day on Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. Yeah!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another great show. This is Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. Kennedy is off today, but we still have a great show lined up. Here's our front page news. Ryan Coogler and his film Sinners have been nominated for a record-breaking 16 awards at the Oscars ceremony. Amanda Seales says it's hypocritical of Ryan Coogler to be attending the Academy Awards ceremony despite centering his latest film, Sinners, around the idea of cultural assimilation. She explained her stance on the matter during a lengthy video rant on social media earlier this week. Y'all keep showing up to these racist-ass places and expecting racism not to happen, she began. Stop supporting this shit. Let them crackers be amongst themselves. I don't know why we keep showing up to these places expecting respect. She continued. Ryan Coogler, whose work I love and respect, is going to go to the Oscars. Why would you make that movie and then show up in the places and spaces of assimilation? At the Academy Awards, Coogler and Sinners will be competing for a record-breaking 16 Oscar nominations. They include Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Original Score, and more. Discussing the feat with Deadline in January, Coogler admitted he wasn't expecting such recognition. I did not have any expectations when it came to the recognition of what they, the team, did, he said. For me, people just showing up to the movies and having a good time, that would have been enough. That is worth all the effort. But that people would consider the craft and the achievements that went into it individually. It's so rewarding. At the Academy Awards, Sinners will be competing against numerous other popular films to release in 2025. These include One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and more. Michael B. Jordan is competing for Best Actor for his role in the film, while Delroy Lindo is up for Best Supporting Actor. Up next with our front page news, Nicki Minaj has already traded shots with Governor Gavin Newsom in several posts on social media in recent months. Nicki Minaj continued going after Gavin Newsom with another fiery post on social media on Monday. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, she reacted to a recent clip of the California governor speaking with Mayor Andre Dickens about his low SAT score and reading ability. His way of bonding with Black people is to tell them how stupid he is and that he can't read, Minaj wrote. This means my first read on him was correct. He's been handed so many things and put in high positions he never earned or deserved. Do you want to know the craziest part of this footage that will haunt him forever? He's literally slowing his speech down and talking in a sporadic cadence. He's not just telling them that they're all probably stupid and probably can't read. He's literally slowing down his speech to make them understand the words that are coming out of his mouth, as if they're children. That means he really believes they're slow. He's not just saying it, he didn't misspeak. He believes it. Do you love it? Do you just love it, Black people? Newsom addressed the backlash to the clip in a post directed at Sean Hannity on Monday morning. You didn't give a shit about the President of the United States of America posting an ape video of President Obama or calling African nations shitholes. But you're going to call me racist for talking about my lifelong struggle with dyslexia, he wrote. This isn't the first time Nicki Minaj has targeted Gavin Newsom on social media. She previously traded shots with him over his support for transgender youth. Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids, Minaj wrote on X, formerly Twitter, back in December. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Nicki Minaj has been increasingly vocal about her support for Donald Trump in recent months. She even appeared at Turning Point USA's America Fest, as well as the recent Trump Accounts Summit in Washington, D.C.
Turn it up. They shoot. They score. Top of the hour sports talk on Coffee Talk. Presented by Spotify.
We back.
We don't give a fuck.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Okay, Sarah, so here's something wild. The United States hasn't topped the medal count at a Winter Olympics since 1932. That's almost a century of coming up short, and yet, when it comes to the Summer Games, we're practically unstoppable.
That's exactly what I was thinking. 7 out of the last 8 Summer Olympics, the US has dominated the medal table. It's such a stark contrast, and it really makes you wonder, why is there such a massive gap between our winter and summer performances?
Well, part of it is just the nature of the sports. The Winter Olympics are filled with events that aren't as popular or widely practiced in the US compared to other countries. But when you shift the focus to basketball, especially men's basketball, it's a completely different story. 5 straight gold medals, that's dominance, even if the last couple of wins were a little too close for comfort.
Oh, absolutely. The international competition has really stepped up in recent years. Teams like Serbia and France have pushed Team USA to the brink in those medal rounds. It's not the cakewalk it used to be back in the Dream Team era of the 90s.
And now we're heading into this fascinating transitional phase for Team USA basketball. The 2024 squad leaned heavily on legends like Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. But by the time the 2028 games roll around in Los Angeles, we're looking at a very different roster. Curry and LeBron have already said they're done with Olympic basketball. And Durant, well, he's leaving the door open, but let's be real, he'll be almost 40 by then.
That's so true. Durant's quote about wanting to play in 2028 is classic KD. Hell yeah, I want to play, but I gotta stay on top of my game. It's like he's keeping his options open, but you can tell even he knows it's a long shot. A 39-year-old Durant trying to keep up with the best players in the world? It's hard to picture.
And that's what makes this conversation so intriguing. We're looking at a complete reimagining of Team USA. Who steps into those massive shoes left by Curry, LeBron and Durant? There's this whole pool of talent to consider, and the choices aren't as obvious as they used to be.
Let's start with the age factor, because that's going to play a huge role in shaping the 2028 roster. The 2024 team was the oldest in Team USA history, with an average age of just over 30. That's not the norm. Historically, the roster skews younger, with most players in their mid to late 20s. But in 2024, only 3 players, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, and Jason Tatum, were under 27. That's a pretty big shift.
And when you look at the history of NBA players in the Olympics, it's rare to see guys who are either really young or really old make the cut. Since the Dream Team debuted in 1992, only 6 Americans aged 21 or younger have made an Olympic roster. That's a very exclusive club.
And Cooper Flagg might just be the next member of that club. He'll be 21 in 2028, and he's already generating so much buzz. People are calling him the Rookie of the Year favorite. But if Flagg makes a team, it's unlikely we'll see any of the top prospects from the 2026 draft class, like Darren Peterson, AJ Debonsa, or Cameron Boozer. Historically, when Team USA has included multiple players under 21, it hasn't exactly worked out.
Oh, for sure. The 2004 Olympic team is the perfect example. That roster had LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire, all under 21, and they ended up with a bronze medal. It's a cautionary tale about relying too much on youth, even if the talent is undeniable.
On the flip side, there's the question of older players. The list of guys who are basically out of contention for 2028 because of age or skill decline is staggering. LeBron, Curry, Durant, Westbrook, Butler, Harden, Lillard, the list goes on and on. It's like the end of an era.
It really is. And then you've got the bubble players, guys like Kawhi Leonard, Alex Caruso and Bobby Portis. They'll all be in their 30s by 2028, and history suggests that's not the age range for Olympic debuts. The exceptions to that rule are so rare.
Exactly. Since 2000, only 2 Americans have made their Olympic debut at age 32 or older. Steph Curry in 2024 and JaVale McGee in 2020. That's it. So, if you're in your early 30s and haven't already been an Olympian, your chances are slim to none.
Which brings us to the younger crop of players who could step up. Let's start with the guards. Anthony Edwards is almost a lock. He'll be 26 in 2028, right in his prime, and he was already a standout on the 2024 team.
And then there's Tyrese Halliburton. He didn't play much in 2024, but his up-tempo style is perfect for international play. Plus, he'll have had 3 years to recover from his Achilles injury in 2025. If he's back to form, he's the best pure point guard in the pool.
Beyond those two, it gets really interesting. Devin Booker could go for a 3rd gold medal at age 31. But there's also competition from guys like Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey and Cade Cunningham. Cunningham in particular has the size and defensive versatility that could make him a great fit.
And let's not forget about Con Knueppel. He's only 22, but his shooting is elite. 43% from 3 on high volume. That kind of skill is invaluable in international play. He's definitely someone to keep an eye on.
The depth at guard is insane. Even in the next tier, you've got players like Austin Reeves, De'Aaron Fox and Jay Morant, plus younger guys like LaMelo Ball and Keontae George. It's almost overwhelming.
It really is. And then you move to the wings, where Jason Tatum and Cooper Flagg are the headliners. Tatum will be a 2-time Olympian by then, and Flagg's potential is off the charts. Those two could be the cornerstones of the team.
Absolutely. And then you've got guys like Jaylen Brown, Mikal Bridges and Jalen Williams who all bring different skills to the table. Williams in particular has that two-way versatility that coaches love.
And don't sleep on the defensive specialists. Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, and Jaden McDaniels could all carve out roles as perimeter stoppers. International basketball is all about matchups, and having elite defenders is a huge advantage.
Speaking of matchups, let's talk about the bigs. This is where things get tricky. Bam Adebayo is the only returning centre from 2024, and he's a safe bet for 2028. But beyond him, it's a toss-up.
Chet Holmgren seems like a no-brainer. He's got the rim protection, mobility, and shooting range that you need in today's game. And then there's Jalen Duren, who's really come into his own. He's more of a traditional big, but his rebounding and physicality could be crucial.
And let's not forget about wild cards like Zion Williamson and Paolo Banchero. Zion's health is always a question mark, and Banchero's inefficiency might hold him back. But if either of them puts it all together, they could be game changers.
So when you look at the projected roster, Halliburton, Edwards, Tatum, Flagg, Holmgren, and the rest, it's a fascinating mix of youth and experience. It's not just about talent. It's about finding the right balance.
And that's what makes this so exciting. The 2028 Olympics are still a couple of years away, but the groundwork is already being laid. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all comes together.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe this new look Team USA will not only continue the gold medal streak, but also set the tone for the next generation of Olympic basketball.
Here's hoping. Because if there's one thing we know, it's that the world isn't waiting around for Team USA to figure it out. The competition is only getting tougher.
Wake up! Get up! We starting the day! Let's get into it. Our top story of the day on Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. Turn it up! Let's go!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Level Up Insights. I'm your host, Emma Johnson, the tech reviewer, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be with you all today, bringing you the freshest takes from the gaming universe. We've got some massive news dropping, and trust me, your controllers are going to be itching. From a surprise announcement that had claws out and pulses racing, to a nostalgic trip down memory lane with a lingering mystical mystery, the next few minutes are absolutely packed with everything you need to know to stay ahead of the curve. First up, we're dissecting the sudden, exhilarating reveal of Insomniac's highly anticipated Marvel's Wolverine game, a PlayStation 5 exclusive that's got everyone talking. Then, we're diving deep into the much-celebrated return of Pokémon Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Nintendo Switch, exploring the biggest question on every seasoned trainer's mind. Where in Kanto is Mew, and how do we finally catch this legendary Pokémon? Get ready to power up your ears, because this episode is going to be truly epic and informative. All right, let's kick things off with the man, the myth, the mutant, Wolverine. Insomniac Games, the brilliant minds behind the Spider-Man series, just dropped an absolute bombshell that sent shockwaves through the gaming community. Marvel's Wolverine officially launches on September 15th, 2026, exclusively for the PlayStation 5. What's truly wild and unconventional is how they chose to announce it. Instead of a grand PlayStation showcase with cinematic trailers or a detailed, lengthy blog post, we were treated to a super concise yet incredibly impactful 6-second video snippet across all their social media channels, simply declaring, "Let's cut to the chase." This unexpected minimalist approach was short, incredibly sweet, and undeniably effective at grabbing global attention and igniting widespread discussion among fans and critics alike. This highly anticipated game was first teased way back in September 2021, and we only caught our first glimpse of actual gameplay during the September 2025 State of Play event, which confirmed a fall 2026 release window. Now, with this concrete, unmissable date firmly in place, the hype surrounding Logan's solo adventure is legitimately reaching a fever pitch. Considering Insomniac's stellar, consistent track record for delivering top-tier, narrative-driven action games, expectations for Marvel's Wolverine are quite rightly sky high. The September 15th release date for Marvel's Wolverine isn't merely a random calendar pick. It's a testament to Insomniac's strategic brilliance in navigating the incredibly competitive gaming landscape. By choosing to launch in mid-September, they've masterfully given the game over 2 months of crucial breathing room, shielding it from the inevitable, absolute behemoth that is Grand Theft Auto 6, which is slated to drop on November 19th. This smart positioning allows Wolverine to carve out its own distinct space and maximize its initial sales and impact without direct head-to-head competition from arguably the biggest title of the decade. Additionally, it's strategically placed just 6 days after the anticipated Phantom Blade Zero, a PS5 and PC wuxia action RPG, ensuring it maintains its spotlight. We can unequivocally expect more tantalizing details to emerge closer to launch. I'm confidently predicting a dedicated PlayStation State of Play event or an extensive deep dive into its compelling story elements, intricate character dynamics, and expanded gameplay mechanics very soon. Imagine the intense, visceral action, the brutal combat, and a truly compelling, character-driven narrative that Insomniac is renowned for, all meticulously wrapped up in Wolverine's dark, gritty, and fiercely independent world. I am absolutely pumped to see what other incredible surprises Insomniac has lurking in the shadows for us, perhaps even a subtle tease of other iconic Marvel heroes or formidable villains making an appearance. Now, let's pivot from the gritty future to a beloved blast from the past. Pokémon Fire Red and Leaf Green, the iconic Generation 3 remakes, are making a grand return to the Nintendo Switch. This isn't just a simple port. It's part of the franchise's 30th anniversary celebration, and the sales charts are already reflecting immense excitement. Everyone loves a good dose of nostalgia, and these games deliver it in spades. But here's where things get interesting and a little confusing. Nintendo's official website states that players can encounter the game's original 151 Pokémon. Now, if you know your Kanto history, that phrase immediately brings up one question. What about Mew? Historically, Mew was a mythical Pokémon, only obtainable via special events, like in Pokémon Emerald, and then traded over. So this claim has sparked a huge debate among fans. How will we catch Mew in these Switch versions? The mystery is almost as compelling as the gameplay itself. The Mew situation is quite the head-scratcher. Adding to the confusion, the once-touted Pokémon Home compatibility for Fire Red and Leaf Green on Switch has been scrubbed from listings. This leaves us with a few possibilities. Could Nintendo be planning an entirely new in-game event for Mew within Fire Red and Leaf Green themselves? Or perhaps, and this is pure speculation, they're hinting at an eventual Switch port of Pokémon Emerald, which traditionally hosted the event needed for Mew. As of the February 27th launch, it seems Mew won't be immediately obtainable, leaving trainers eager for answers. But there's a beacon of hope. The highly anticipated Pokémon Presents event is scheduled for February 27th, 6 a.m. PT. This major showcase often features big announcements, so it's entirely possible we'll get concrete details on Mew's availability, Pokémon Home integration, or even hints about future Generation 3 titles during that stream. So mark your calendars, because those answers might just be around the corner. Before we wrap up this exhilarating discussion, here's a special message for all you dedicated gamers out there. Are you tired of constantly missing out on the biggest, most impactful gaming reveals? Do you crave exclusive, in-depth insights and breaking news delivered directly and clearly straight to your ears? Then it's absolutely time to level up your gaming knowledge. Imagine experiencing the raw, untamed power of Marvel's Wolverine, a PlayStation 5 exclusive, with its gritty, cinematic storytelling and brutal, visceral action. Or perhaps you'd prefer to relive the pure magic and nostalgia with Pokémon Fire Red and Leaf Green on Nintendo Switch, where you can once again catch all 151 original Pokémon and rediscover Kanto's countless wonders. Here at Level Up Insights, we passionately address your burning questions, like how to finally catch that famously elusive Mew, providing unparalleled clarity amidst the often chaotic and overwhelming world of gaming news. Don't get left behind, lost in the noise. Visit the PlayStation Store right now to wishlist Wolverine. Head to the Nintendo eShop for Fire Red and Leaf Green. And for all the absolutely latest updates, remember to subscribe and consistently tune in to Level Up Insights wherever you get your podcasts. Level Up Insights, your truly essential gaming source, always keeping you one step ahead.
We bring in good energy. This has been Coffee Talk, presented by Spotify. From our cast, we thank you for listening.
Yeah.